Hello movie barfs and welcome back to the channel. The Joker in 2008's Dark Knight was a true anarchist who managed to bring a city to its knees with just a few drums of gas and a couple of bullets. His most effective weapon was by far the fear and panic he creates with just his threats, and then later screwing with everyone's minds when he does the unexpected. But as we'll see in this video, there were several instances where the Joker could have been stopped, but unfortunately he managed to get away due to various mistakes by some characters. For starters, right in the opening scene, we see Joker and his gang of masked thugs break into a mob bank to rob it. They do the smart thing in disabling the alarm system and taking out the guards, followed by placing a grenade in everyone's hands to keep them bound. Well, I don't know about that. A grenade is meant to be thrown with one hand. You can still keep it from exploding just by gripping it with one of your palms. Any of these tellers or customers here could easily just press another alarm or call the police when the thugs were distracted, especially when the manager started firing his shotgun. At the very least, even if the police arrived late, they would have at least given the Joker some trouble, since he was only traveling in a school bus and those don't go very fast. And speaking of the manager, he had superior firepower after taking out the big thug with the submachine gun. His mistake was not counting his shots and haphazardly firing all over the place, leaving him open the moment he ran out. Guess he needed to take a page out of Deadpool's book and practice some ammo discipline. Who knows, he might have been able to take out the Joker right from the start. After stealing from the mob, he then interrupts their group therapy session where they discuss the police tracking their money. Now, presumably they don't have any guns or weapons since they all had to go through a security check first. And besides, even if they wanted to use them, they were held off by Joker's threat of the explosive vest. But what intrigues me is that the mob just allows him to leave without following him, at least from afar. I mean, we have a guy with his face painted white and he's decked in all purple. He would stick out like a sore thumb even in a crowd. Anyway, Joker pisses off Gamble and he puts out a bounty on his head, 500 grand dead and $1 million alive. Later, when some thugs come to Gamble to claim the bounty, they lay a presumably dead Joker in front of him. Gamble's men who allowed the thugs in and Gamble himself made the fatal mistake of not verifying that the Joker was actually dead before bringing him in. And worse, not only is he still alive and well, he's also still armed with a knife which doubles the extent of their carelessness. If any of them had checked to see if the Joker was actually dead, well, perhaps they could have saved themselves and actually gotten rid of him for good. Sometime later in the film, Joker makes a threat in the obituary column that he's going to kill the mayor. In a seemingly odd move, the mayor still doesn't go into hiding, but still attends a public funeral parade with plenty of vantage points for him to be attacked. Not the smartest move. As it turns out, Joker has replaced the front lineup of police officers with his own men, and has somehow taught them foot drills and all. He's standing there hidden in plain sight as one of them as they perform their rifle drills. Well, we have quite a number of people on stage, and combined with the dozens of police officers on the ground, how did no one spot a man with a heavily scarred face standing there in the midst of them? I mean, look, he's right there, right in front, and he's somehow escaped the eyes of the countless people around him, especially the people on stage. With the mayor's back facing them, they would naturally be looking at the crowd of officers below. If just one person had noticed him and called him out, the dozens of police officers would have easily apprehended him, ending his crime spree right there and then. Eventually, after a chase sequence in downtown Gotham, Batman and the GCPD manage to capture the Joker after flipping his semi-trailer rig. He's taken to the holding cells in the GCPD, but when Harvey Dent and Rachel are captured, he's taken into the interrogation room where he has that scene where we get a deep dive into his character and motivation. But here's where Gordon makes a huge error. He should have just left the cuffs on Joker instead of removing them. Why was there even a need to remove them in the first place? After Batman gives him a pounding to squeeze Harvey and Rachel's location out of him, he leaves the GCPD to save Rachel. And right here again, the Joker still remains uncuffed, which is just asking for trouble. If they had just done the simple act of cuffing him again, and this time preferably to a pillar or another fixture, the threat of him would be nullified and he wouldn't have been able to break out. And this cop here, he makes the mistake of falling for the Joker's taunts. And why was the Joker only guarded by one cop? If the police had maybe spared an extra man in the room, then this guy might not have ended up as his hostage, which was what allowed him to escape. Honestly, when the Joker was captured in the midpoint of the film, it was half the battle won, but the GCPD's incompetence caused them to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. At the climax of the film, the main threat that the Joker poses is that he has rigged 2 ferries with explosives for his social experiment. But it's a bit of a stretch that all those barrels of explosives just went undetected before the ferries set sail. We did see the police meticulously checking the bridges for any suspicious objects. If they had done their due diligence and checked out the ferries as well, they most certainly would have found the explosives and saved the passengers the whole fiasco at the end. Apart from all these, there aren't many other flaws in how the other characters interacted with the Joker. Probably his closest brush with death was when he left his fate to a 50-50 coin toss with Harvey. Lucky for him, it went the right side up. But what do you folks think? Could any of the characters have done anything else that would have stopped the Joker's plans dead in its tracks? Let us know in the comments below. If you'd like to see more videos like these, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time.